No, I'm not. I actually was. But I would love to be one.
You guys fuck them all out of there.
We'll talk about that in the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the Practical Pistol Show. My name is Ben Stoeger, here to answer your shooting questions. On deck today, we got Mr. Matt Hopkins. Say hello, Matt.
Hello, Matt.
All right. And straight off the boat from Argentina. What did you think I was going to say?
Something about a wall.
No, Mexican people.
I just flew above it.
Mexican people don't come here on boats. I think they just walk.
That's from Cuba.
Yeah, that's Cuba.
Okay.
No, you come here on an airplane.
I did.
Yes. All right. So Gaston is here from Buenos Aires. Last winter, I went to train with you, and this winter you came to train
Your
with
winter.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was in your summer. You left summer behind to come here and train.
That's what I did.
Which was
but it's
fucked up.
warmer than here. So
Yeah. All right. So let's do some shooting questions.
Yep.
Yeah. You ready for that?
I'm ready.
All right, Matt. So, Gaston, this is the part where I read the questions, and then after I read it, then you start making comments.
this is already live?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Ben, I have a 14-year-old son that I am looking to upgrade his pistol. He has shot IDPA with me for the last 2 years. This year, I've taken him to a couple USPSA matches. That's a bad move, man. He's classified as a C, currently using an XDM. However, he would like to switch to one of my Glock 34s. Personally, I would like to get him a better gun, but I'm just not sure what to get him. So if you guys had a 14-year-old gun, what gun would you have him shooting? I actually, this isn't that hypothetical for me. I have a 13-year-old. Anyway, CZ, Tanfo, STI. I would like to use production USPSA and SSP IDPA. I understand you probably don't know the rules in IDPA, so don't worry about it.
Me?
Well, all of us.
I do know them.
Yeah, I know you do.
I do too. I have to know them.
I have to know them too.
I try
have to
not.
shoot a wall shoot.
I try not to know them, but I think I know. I
I will
probably know
stick
them
to the
pretty well.
34.
Yes, I would love to hear the whole gang's opinion. Yours, Hopkins, Herons, and Nick's. I know the gun doesn't make the shooter, but I also know it can definitely help, especially your confidence. FYI, he's big enough that gun size shouldn't matter. Hopkins, what's your take on this?
I'd have him shoot something that he already owns, and make sure he wants to shoot before going out and buying like a CZ or a STI or a Tanfo. So probably stick with the 34.
Yeah.
Yeah, it won't sham. It's easy to maintain. You can teach your kid how to maintain it, and you can't mess with it. So I would stick to the 34 too.
You wouldn't let him. You wouldn't let him shoot anything else.
No. Well, if he wants to, but it's not gonna make a difference. And the Glock is easygoing, and you can shoot IDPA, USPSA, IPSC. And
Yeah, that's another thing. If you want to shoot IDPA, SSP, so his guns are limited on that.
Mhm.
Some of the shadows and other Tanfos and stuff are too heavy.
Well,
so-
why?
too heavy.
Why is SSP even on the table, or not SSP? Why is an STI even on the table if you want to shoot production?
ESP, I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know. I would let him pick his gun. To be honest, I would let the kid pick his gun.
No, but it should be a 9 because it's gonna be bad in the bones if it's a
Yeah,
very big bore. gun.
maybe I've told this before, but when I started dating my wife and I decided I liked her enough to give her a gun, I had a bunch of prize guns and I just kind of took them out and laid them all out for her, and I was just like, "Oh, just pick one you like," and she was like, "Oh, the XD, like that was the one that she wanted." So I was like, "Okay," and that's what she took to start shooting.
That's a Springfield.
Yeah.
That's okay.
No,
I'd rather have a Glock. I have all Glocks
I
now,
would rather have a
but-
Glock too, but anyway, having him pick the gun that he likes is better than it being the gun that you think is the best gun. That's what I would do. Just let him pick the gun he likes. That's fine.
This light makes me look like Caucasian, right?
No, I don't think anybody's going to make that mistake.
No. I'm just saying. See?
Yeah. Start
You
talking
look like Gasparin.
start talking like a gringo or something.
America.
Yeah, exactly.
You get him to shoot what he wants. Yeah, that's what I would do.
What I would do is try to get him interested in something cheaper.
Not shooting sports.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like maybe tennis.
Tennis
He
is
could
very
miss a
cheap.
ball or two, but that would be
Anyway, let's move on to the next question. You mentioned in some old podcast how makeup shots on paper will not be worth the time. I think I understand the time loss versus points made up when compared to the hit factor of the stage, but can you explain a bit further? Just for reference, at my last match, I knew a shot was out of the alpha zone to the left, called to Charlie, came back, made it up with an alpha. During scoring, I checked the target, 2 alpha, 1 Charlie, called makeup was 2 inches away from the called Charlie and into the A zone. Seems like I wasted a lot of time to go back for 2 points. Side note, thanks for coming to Austin for the fundamentals class. My stage times have improved dramatically. I closed the gap on a local GM by a good 20%. I'm guessing he means Tim Mars.
If that was
In
Tim
which
Myers, I don't
case,
know how good
I don't
that
think
is.
that I don't think that matters. He says, now I just got to focus on calling shots. Anyway, okay, so it wants me to explain
that's
makeup
very
shots.
easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much is it, Charlie? In a, I don't
2
know,
points.
10 hit factor stage, which is very usual in the United States.
No,
No,
usually
it's
it's more
not
like
that
7.
high.
It's 7.
Well, in a 7, that would be 1 divided by 7, that would be 1 point. How
No,
much time is that?
2 divided by 7,
Oh my god.
right?
Yeah, 2 divided by 7. That would be the Charlie in
Point
my
two
note.
eight.
Point?
Point
2.8.
28.
Well,
Not even
that's,
so you have not
that's
even
enough.
you'd have
You
not
never
even
pick up a Charlie.
you have not even a third of a second to pick up a Charlie.
You never pick up a Charlie. Let's see a delta. That would be double. That would be
Let's see here.
0.66? 0.56?
0.57. You're really close.
Okay. Then maybe if you're still in the target and the first shot was a delta because you were entering the target, yeah, you can put a double alpha after that. Yeah, that would make sense. It will earn you maybe 1 point or 2.
Okay, so what I think people should do is the mathematics that Gaston's doing right now, I think people should not think about it that way. They want to turn this into a math problem, but I look at it more as a behavioral issue. So as far as your training, I think the easiest way to do it, especially for people shooting limited round divisions where an extra shot can really fuck you, because we shoot to 10 rounds a lot, you'd want to save the backup round for something you really need. If you know that all your shots are on paper and you've knocked down all the steel or whatever, don't shoot extra shots. As a rule, don't do it. And it's not mathematical, it's behavioral. So you don't want to be, sort of thinking like, oh, is that a D or a C, or like, is it worth it right now to make it up or not? Going through the stage with some being aggressive and being certain about what you've done, and if you're not certain, acting certain. So just go through the stage and shoot all the targets. And if you're sure you've hit it, or if you think you've hit everything, just move on. That's the better way to approach it usually than thinking about extra shots. As you get better, you can start to think like, there might be scenarios where you might be thinking about extra shots or you might need them. But the real problem is a lot of times when you shoot at a target, you're not sure exactly where you've hit. So you might think you shot a D and like, oh, well, I think I can make that up. And then you walk down and look at the target and the shot you thought was a D is like an A, or maybe it's a C, and like you don't really know what you're doing. And you're sitting there worrying about the math of it, when really just go through the stage aggressively. If you think you've hit everything, just move the fuck on. And don't sit there dicking around shooting extra shots and forcing reloads and shit like that.
So
Yeah, that's the way I tell people to do it. And I think that works a lot better.
I agree with that, and I trained that way for like the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But now I had to like let myself say, if I have to make up a shot, I have to. Like, I allow myself to do it now. But I'm way more disciplined by not doing it for so long.
Yeah.
That I've trained myself not to do it. But if I know I need it and like can tell like the shot is way off the target or whatever, I allow myself to do it.
Yeah, no, they're not they're not always a bad idea, but it's just generally speaking, you don't want to be thinking about shooting extras, because the thinking about it's the damaging part.
It's only when you're entering and you hit a delta, like almost by accident. That's the only time you're gonna pick up a target. If you got your shot there, if it's a mic, you have to pick it up.
And then the other thing people like to do in terms of extra shots is plan to shoot an extra. So they end up kind of throwing 3 shots at a difficult target instead of aiming and firing 2. I think that's a bad thing
That's a bad
too.
idea.
So there was a stage at Area 1 this past weekend where that was
No,
the plan to do.
It is sometimes smart. It is usually dumb.
If it has a hard cover, it's a smart.
I'm not.
It was
I'm not,
it was a headshot at 15 yards, and you had to do a mandatory reload right after it.
no,
So
I
it
get
was like 3 shots on it just to be sure.
I get it. Sometimes that's smart, but like, don't let the exception to the rule dictate the rule. Like,
Right.
as a rule, don't plan to shoot extras. It's not
Well,
smart.
The thing to say on that is, if like somebody's just shooting 3 at a swinger to hope they get 2 on,
That's
it,
what
you know?
people fucking do, and they see a hard. Like, what really
Yeah.
makes me crazy is when there's a hard partial target with a no shoot on it, and it's a long target, and they'll plan to shoot 3, and it's like you realize every extra shot is another chance to hit that no shoot, right? Like, so that's not smart. The easiest way to train, just go through the stage aggressively and don't shoot extras unless you're sure you need them. And yeah, I guess if where you the other thing people like to do is like do the math after the fact, which is sort of cheating in my opinion. So for example, they'll shoot 2 shots at a target and they'll have an A and they think they had a miss, and then they shoot a 3rd shot and they walk down when the target's being scored and they see an A, then they see like maybe a high B because they fired the 2nd shot before the gun came down at a recoil, or maybe they see an edge delta and they're like, oh well, that makeup shot was stupid because I actually hit the target. It's like, well, in that moment they weren't really sure of what they'd done, so they needed the makeup. You know what I mean? So like doing the math after the fact is a little bit cheating, in my opinion. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it totally does.
I think it's behavior. I guess what I say is think behavior, don't think mathematics. Don't worry. Like, people want to pull out a calculator right away on this question, and I don't think that's the thing to do.
Uh,
I know it kills you to say it, but that's the truth for people. It's not about that.
In my state, I think pulling out the calculator and figuring it out is good because I know
you're
not
good
to,
enough because you can control your actions.
Yeah, but yeah, I could see doing like saying it towards a newer shooter or a guy coming up that doesn't know any
like
better.
not even a new shooter.
It's
an
like
average shooter, even an
it's like-
above average shooter.
It could be like a death sentence. I can see that for sure.
Yeah. It's not a death sentence. It's just like really destructive to their scores because over the course of a match, like there'll be the one time where they shot a bunch of extras because they just weren't confident with their shooting, and then they force standing reload, and then it fucks their plan for the stage, and they end up tanking a stage just because they were sitting there dicking with extra shots when they shouldn't have been. Like that's the stuff you want to avoid.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, even for me. Extra shots or thinking about extra shots a lot is really a hard thing to do. Now, if you're shooting a higher capacity division, you have a lot more freedom with how many extra shots you shoot. The rule in open is if it's if you're not sure, you just shoot an extra. If you think A or C, you want an A or a close C, and you can you have extra shots to throw around, which is cool.
Saw that a lot with the PCC guys, man. They would make up targets like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's really common to see even pretty good open shooters. They'll start shooting before they even see their dot on a target, and they'll know, like, okay, I fired that shot before I even saw my dot coming into this position, so they just automatically fire the 3rd shot.
What's PCC?
That's the long gun division we have in USPSA.
Oh, that you can shoot in the pistol match.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yes, very smart. Okay. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. I recently noticed, yes, sad, I know, getting a more consistent grip with sufficient pressure can increase accuracy and speed. And he got put in parentheses, plug your Atlanta fundamentals class here. Thanks, I enjoyed. Anyway, when establishing my grip, I historically would focus on left hand index finger being the first sensational point of reference. Hence, some of the ripskin photos I've recently posted. But the first point of contact is usually the trigger guard. Hence, again, no return sensation from that contact point for adjustment if needed. I'm not entirely sure what he's talking about here. I think he's talking about
coming up from under the gun and hitting his finger on the trigger guard instead of basically wrapping from his fingers around the gun.
All right, so I guess we'll skip ahead to the question. Okay, for this less than 0.2 second process in your early training years, what were your sensational focus points and process for establishing your left hand grip? So, guys, he's asking, what do you feel in your hand as you come up and establish your left hand grip on the gun as you draw? Okay? We all know where we start from and where we should end up for reference sake. Today, I'd like to hear how you got there. Okay. So, what do you think, Hopkins?
I don't know if I've ever like consciously thought about it. It just kind of happens.
Yeah, so I thought about this question obviously before we put it on the podcast, and I wasn't entirely sure.
I mean, it just kind of like I don't. It's hard for me to say, you know, because I've done it so much, and it kind of just happens, and the grip is there, and it's solid, and
But when you were starting out, was it different?
We can feel it if we try gripping a pistol with the left hand,
oh yeah,
with the
that
left
makes-
hand, with your other hand, like you are a newbie.
Oh yeah.
Now
Lefty.
you will feel it. Now it feels weird.
Yeah.
That's what I do when a newbie asks me or can do something right. I shoot with my left so I can feel what he's feeling.
Yeah, because it's so unfamiliar.
Yes.
I think the things that I notice is running my finger into the trigger guard, and then I want my hand to line up right on the palm swell where I'm putting a lot of pressure on the gun.
One thing I do notice is where my fingers come in contact with the other hand, like
Yeah.
in between. So like,
You just turned off your. We don't have any sound from you. So what did you just say? No, you have to activate your microphone. There you go. What were you saying?
Like the fingers go in between the other fingers. They're not on
Yeah.
top of them, so they sit there.
That's what I like to feel too. My
Yeah.
fingers between my fingers. That's more important than even the fingers in the gun. Like how they wrap together.
Right.
That's what I like. And I also like to feel my sandpaper here. In here.
For audio listeners, Gaston's pointing at his penis.
Yeah. I have sandpaper there because I don't feel anything anymore, so that will make it better.
Yeah.
Okay, so seriously, yeah, I like to feel my fingers wrapped all between each other. That's a good feeling. If something's wrong, the feeling is gonna be there between your fingers.
I think a lot of it builds from your strong hand grip anyway, your trigger finger grip anyway. Because that's like, if that's too low, your other hand's not going to be able to grip as high. So it like depends on the strong hand trigger pull and grip also.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking, I first enter into contact with my left hand with my fingers at the front of the gun,
On the trigger
and then I
guard?
wrap it. Yeah,
That's what I do too. That's what I
Yeah.
teach, and that's what I do. And
yeah.
I
First, like
that.
it's like we meet, we marriage. How's that? That's how it is. Okay.
Oh
That's
man, that's
fun.
going to be an excellent show. That's going to be good.
That's why I flew here. It's so hot right now. Yeah.
Oh. People are going to get the reference by the time they hear this, probably. Do you think, Hopkins?
Probably, yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Well, I hope I helped that guy. Okay.
Yeah, well, the first thing that you feel, I mean, I can't remember it ever
The
being different.
fingers with fingers. That's what he has to feel. That's all.
Yeah,
Let's move on.
yeah. Let's do one more question. I'll add it into the group
Does it
chat
have a
for you.
reference to how good your classes are?
No, I
The
hope
next
not.
question? Okay. I
That's
hope
just
not too.
luck. I'm just getting lucky.
Is
You
Gaston
were
going to help
writing
you
them
teach
when
while
I
he's
was
up there?
here.
No,
You
I
were
wouldn't
writing
let
the
this
I'm
motherfucker on
not
my.
supposed to say that? Sorry.
I'm not going to let that motherfucker on the range with me. What are you talking about? I'm doing a class this weekend, but he's going to have to fuck off to a different bay and go practice by himself.
Yeah, not like I want to be part of the class. That's what I'm
No.
going to do.
Yeah. Hi, Ben and the Shooting Show. I'm a new listener to the show, and I hear a lot of valuable information. Here's a little about myself. I've been shooting in limited for about 3 to 5 months in locals in the beginning and moved to open and shot mostly majors through 2016 to present with no formal training. I just like to shoot. I've done what you said in your past show and watched the guys shoot at the top and try to do what they do. Well, okay, I know this guy shoot. Noticed somebody shoot. top level guys shoot, which I know is a bad idea, and he goes so blazing fast that misses across the board, yet still wins the stage. But when I do it, I don't get the same result. Would you say it's possible to always win with minimum accuracy and blazing fast speed every time? Loving the show, keeping me interested. Thank you for your time.
No real top guy wins like that
And
in the
well,
world.
some of them do, but not consistently.
No, not consistently. No, you need the points to win. There's no other way.
What do you think, Hopkins?
I mean, it's right. If equal shooters, equal skill level shooters, the dude shooting the mics is gonna lose.
Well,
Right?
this guy.
It's a math. This is a math equation, unlike the other one. Like, obviously, this dude isn't going as fast as the other dude, or he's missing more than the other dude. There's one of two things.
You say math again. I look at this and I think behavior. Right. So this guy's tried it. This guy so I see this guy shoot really fast and he gets misses sometimes and he still does well. And he's like, well, maybe that's the plan for me. So he goes and he does that and he's like, oh, well, that's not the plan for me. So is it really mathematical at that point? He understands the math. But the
But if
problem
that doesn't work,
the
then
problem
he
is the
shouldn't do it.
behavior. Yeah, there's always going to be guys who shoot like assholes and do well occasionally by it's not luck, actually. It's like if you shoot really fast, if you shoot really, really aggressively, anybody can try this. Go shoot a stage, or not a stage, go shoot a match as aggressively as you can, and you'll probably have 4 stages you do pretty shitty on, 1 stage you really tank, and then you'll have 1 stage you kind of hook up on,
You blow them out by 20% probably
I
on
don't
that
know.
one, on the one good one.
Yeah,
probably.
on the one good one. And then you're like, well, and then guys will sit there and do mental gymnastics where they're like, oh, well, I mean, was I like really in the zone on this one, or what happened? And it's more like, no, it's actually very likely that if you shoot really aggressively, you're going to have occasional really good performances, like next level performances, stuff that you don't think you could ever repeat. It's very likely that would happen, but
Yeah, many people rather have that than be
Yes.
consistent and be fifth place, fourth place all the time.
But they want to look at that, which is actually, it's very likely that they will occasionally do very well, and they'll occasionally do very poorly on stages, and they'll have a bunch of crap in the middle. They want to look at that, and then the stage that they do well on, they want to look at that like that means something.
Yeah, now that I think it, if you're not a professional shooter, maybe pushing your luck, it's okay because you get to win a match every once in a while. When I was a beginner, I was being serious, so I didn't push, and I was always third, second. People that were pushing, they were like 10th, and suddenly they won and they took the prize. So I don't know. It depends on what you want.
Yes, it takes a long time to get good and learn to hit stuff, but learning to hit stuff is a good thing to do, and
Do you
learning to
think-
be fast is a good thing to do.
Do you think it would be a problem like that they eventually would like see better or faster and like be able to catch up to the speed?
Yeah, no, they aren't going to see faster. They're going to learn to be more efficient, really, or to stop being such a bitch about however they're aiming. So like if you're shooting in open and you never make mistakes, but you like let your dots settle on every target all the time, and you're really sure of where you're hitting all the time. It's like you probably need to learn to shoot with the dots still moving, or on closer targets you see just a flash of red on the target, you start shooting with that. And the reverse is true. Guys that are really fast but make a lot of mistakes, it's like I wouldn't go to that guy and say, well, you need to slow down. That's not what I would say. It'd be like, you're shooting really fast and that's cool. You need to be, you need to train some consistency where it's like you're going to repeat drills like 10 times without a mistake or something. And it's like, that's going to be your focus because you're really fast. And it's not like you're going to get substantially slower over time. So, I mean, I understand this. Like a lot of times, Hopkins and I, we've been to enough major matches, right? Where especially like the European matches with some smaller round count stages. Gaston, you've seen this where
Several times.
some asshole will just like shoot like
Smash
crazy.
it.
So we'll smash some
Yeah.
little stage.
But the good guys would be like 99, 95%, so it doesn't really matter that much.
On that one stage, it doesn't matter
Yeah.
because over the course of the match, they're going to get fucked.
And there are short courses, so it's gonna be like maybe you're 95%, but they're gonna be like just 2 points.
Yeah,
It's not very important, you know.
Yes.
But the guy will be very happy. The pushing his luck guy will be very happy. I think many people should do that. Go have fun.
Go have fun. Fuck it. Right? That's how you're going to shoot on Sunday?
No, I'm gonna be consistent because I don't like losing. I'm already been there. So.
Oh, well. That's another bang up podcast, right, Hopkins?
Yeah, that was good.
Do you have anything you'd like to add, Gaston?
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
I'm so excited. We've got True Exodus coming on after this.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Oh,
So hot.
man. So hot right now.
Yes.
I don't know which one's going to air first. I think we'll air the True Exodus one after, yeah?
I don't know what the schedule looks like, so.
It's fucked up. I don't know. Who cares? Anyway, listener people, if you have a shooting question you'd like the answer to, go to bensteger.com. Send me your question. We'd love to hear from you, right?
Right. If
Yeah.
I have time, we'll do some when I fly back home.
What?
The podcasts,
Yeah.
like we used to.
Okay.
I don't have much time, but
Okay.
that would be awesome.
All
Bye,
right.
people.
Bye.